Hello everybody and welcome to Little Langdale, which is pretty much slap bang in the middle of the Lake District. Now, I'm a bit of a Wainwright buff and I've climbed pretty much each and every one of these hills, fells and mountains around here. But I've come to the Lake District today to look at something a little different, something a little bit lower down. So low down, in fact, that it's technically underground. Yeah, so we're in Lakeland, the Lake District, Cumbria, whatever you want to call it. This is my #1 favourite place in the whole of Britain. It's just beautiful, look at it. It's fantastic. I've been stood here a few minutes ago. I filmed that mountain over there. About 5 minutes have passed now and the light has just shifted so much in 5 minutes. It's just beautiful. It's a different kind of beautiful. If I wait another 5 minutes, the light will shift again and it'll be a different kind of beautiful. I just love it. It's just fantastic. What a great place to come to. Yeah, so I absolutely love Lakeland. I mean, look at that over there, look at the colours there, beautiful. I could come here all the time, I could live here in fact. But yeah, I mean, if Lakeland's famous for one thing, it's lakes and its tarns and its waters. They're not all technically lakes. And it's fells and it's mountains. Look at the mountains over there. But of course, there's a bit of history here as well, and it goes back, of course, to the Romans. Had a big presence in Cumbria, and then in the industrial age, maybe like the past couple hundred years, there's been a lot of mining and a lot of industry here. Not so much as other parts of Britain, but it's had its fair share. And the great thing about Lakeland is there's little remains of these places still left and just dotted around the landscape here, there and everywhere, and you have to really put effort in to get to most of them as well. They're on the side of a hill or something. Yeah, I've always wanted to come to this place I'm going to show you today. There's a couple of places actually, but I never have. I've been to the lake so many times, but I've always distracted myself with the high up bits, the peaks, and bagging the Wainwrights and getting some tremendous views. But I kind of always skip over places like this I'm coming today. And so a friend of mine runs an experience on Airbnb, a walking tour if you like, and she highly recommended this to me today. She says, you've got to check it out, it's absolutely beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to do that. I'm going to test it, see if it's any good. So thanks Cassie, that's my mate Cassie. But yeah, I think we're at the first point now. So in this video we're going to look at two humongous man-made caverns dating back to the 19th century and the slate mining which was in this area. But to get there I've got to cross this river here, and to do that I get to use this wonderful, beautiful, crazy little bridge right here behind me. Right, so this is the River Brathay, or Brathay, I'm not sure how you say it. But yes, this feeds into Lake Windermere, which isn't saying very much because Windermere is massive and hundreds of streams and rivers feed into it. But this is the River Brathay, and it's what I've got to cross right now. Just look at how clear the water is down there. You could drink that. I'd try and drink it now, but I'd fall in, knowing me. Right, so this is Slater's Bridge, and it looks older than time itself, but it actually dates back to the 1600s, and it's an old pack horse bridge. Although looking at it, there must have been some pretty small horses. Anyway, in the 19th century, in the 20th century, the early 20th century, it was used by the miners to get from the village over there to the quarries, which we're heading to now. So it's a well-used bridge. It's got two parts to it. This one, look at that over there, it's a bit of a stone slab concrete, and there a bit more of an intricate archway which looks like it could collapse at any second, but obviously not. Fantastic. So I'm just trying to figure out how this bridge was made in the 1600s. Even with mortar, it just looks like lots of big slate slabs kind of just squashed next to each other and held up by gravity. Just the force of each other pushing against each other. There's no real keystone to speak of, and when you look underneath you can see there's many rows of them going across as well. So hell of a complicated bridge to build back then. Obviously it's still held up by mortar, cement a little bit here and there. But yeah, that is one hell of a bridge. Right, I'm really excited now. We've come to the end of the woods, and oh yeah, we're going to go into the hill now. There's a bit of a warning sign here, bit of information, bit of a warning sign. But look at this. Oh yeah. Look at this. This is absolutely amazing. This is Cathedral Cave, and it's absolutely huge. So this is the Cathedral Quarry system, and it's a series of small quarries all interlinked with their tunnels. But it starts off here with this massive chamber, which is about 30 feet high, more than 30 feet high. Got a window there, a portal there going out into the rest of the quarries. And there's another one up there on the right, which I can't quite film properly from where I am. But in the middle you've got this huge column of stone just supporting the roof. It's absolutely beautiful here. So there's this pool of water here. Don't know how deep that is. But you can see over here these. Look at that. The drill marks where the rock was blasted away, and there's loads of them. There's loads of them all over the walls. Everywhere. These drill marks, these blast marks. But I can't get over that window. So if you look up there, you can see all the plant life that's starting to take over the rocks and all the moss and the different ferns and stuff. It's prehistoric. This is a cave. This is a cave. This is a cave. Look at that column. Just look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. Amazing. There's the pool of water. There's actually another little tunnel over here, so I'm going to head down there now and see where it goes. Right, so it opens out into the open air bit of the quarry. This was stone silent when I first got here, but a load of rock climbers have just turned up, about 30 rock climbers. So there's a murmur of voices now surrounding everything, echoing off the walls. But yeah, let's go up and have a look. Right, let's have a look at where we are today. So this is Little Langdale in Lakeland, and the area around here has been worked for stone for thousands of years. The nearby Great Langdale Valley having been a bit of an axe factory during Neolithic times, where green stone was cut and polished for use in axes. By the 19th century, slate mining had become big business in the area, when a boom in house building led to demand for more and more slate up and down Britain. It remained busy all the way up until about the 1950s, when demand fell. But not before the generations of men using drills, hammers and dynamite had managed to carve out several large quarries in the landscape, including the cavern. After blasting, the slate was split and dressed on site, and any waste was tipped aside, forming vast spoil heaps. Not surprisingly, this mining was so dangerous and the area so remote that few pictures were actually taken, and are annoyingly difficult to get hold of. A network of small tunnels runs off this central open-air quarry, where today the mountain rescue have decided to run an exercise. Climbing up out of the hole in the ground, the large portal we saw before can be accessed, giving a dramatic view down into the cave, and that huge column of stone holding the whole place up. Right, so I've come up the side a little bit now. I've come off the bottom of the quarry, I'm up the side. There's a couple of tunnels down there which I wanted to go through. They're a bit waterlogged and I don't really have wellies on me at the moment. But unfortunately the mountain rescue are here. They're not rock climbers, they're mountain rescue. And they're here and they're using one of the tunnels as for an exercise. And it's the best one. It's about 400 yards long, so it's like a couple hundred meters. I really wanted to go down it, but unfortunately they're using it at the moment. But yeah, let's keep exploring. The sense of nature reclaimed. Right, so I've got a bit lost. I was trying to find the other end of that long dark tunnel which the mountain rescue are using, but I can't. Anyway, I found this other little bit here. So quarrying ended here in the 1950s and the area's slowly being reclaimed by nature. You've got mosses and lichens and birches and ash and some oak. I've passed some oak trees as well. So yeah, it's slowly being reclaimed by nature. However, I found another little bit over here, so let's have a look in here and then we've got to crack on because the light is fading and I've got another place to show you. There was nothing in that last one, but yes, I've come back up to the top to the spoil heaps. I just want to look at the view, to be honest with you. It's always worth looking at the view when you come to the lakes. Now we're going to head to the second place, which is another quarry, equally as famous, but again it's definitely worth visiting. So let's get there before it gets dark. So the good thing about coming to Lakeland in winter, of course, is that it's very quiet. You almost have the whole place to yourself. Almost. The bad thing is I'm losing light. I've got about an hour and a half of light left, maybe an hour. Sunset's about 4. So I've got like a packed lunch for me. I've got tea, I've got a flask of tea, flask of coffee. I thought I'd give myself the option of having both. I've not even cracked into them yet. I've just been walking like a madman. So yeah, that's the downside. Right, so I'm behind a fell now called Home Fell. It's one of the Wainwrights. It's one of the smallest Wainwrights, to be honest with you. But I'm descending now into another quarry, and this is Parrock Quarry. It's behind Home Fell, and it's down here in this woodland what's been reclaimed by trees at least. And we're going to go through here, another slate quarry, and then we'll get to the end and see something spectacular. Right, so that wasn't very wheelchair accessible, let's put it that way. But now we're in this this empty quarry. You can't really tell because of all the plants here, but we're quite deep down from the surface. Surface is up there. So I'm not good at estimating. It's about 50 meters, 70 meters, I don't know. 50 meters. Probably not that much. But yeah, we've come to the bit now I want to show you. It's only little, but it's amazing. I came here last summer just for a look and I was blown away. Unfortunately it's raining today. It was really sunny when I came last time. It looked spectacular, but actually the rain adds to a bit of atmosphere, so lucky you. Right, so just looking at the sheer rock wall, you see this cable. Look at that, look at that, amazing. Big old industrial cable, probably as old as the quarry itself, and I'm guessing used to help haul the stone out of the quarry back in the heyday. So yeah, there's not many relics actually. I've had a quick look. There's not many things like this around here, but there is one, a very good one, and it's in the cave at the end. So let's have a look. Right, so we're now inside the cave, or what is called a cave. I'm not sure how much of it is natural and how much of it is man-made, but you can see there's two portals. There's one over there and there's one here, and there's another giant pillar in the middle holding this one up. But you can see over there in that one there's the remains of an old crane, so let's go have a look at that. Fabulous. Right, so you can see the end of the crane mechanism here dipping into the water and going below the surface. And yes, this is water. So this before us, unfolding before us magnificently, is Hodge Close Quarry, an open air crater in the landscape. It's about 50 meters high to the surface up there, and about 50 meters, roughly speaking, deep under the water. But look at it, beautiful, magnificent. So like the other cathedral quarry we went to before, this one was mostly active in the 19th century and into the 20th century, and by the 1960s it was so small scale that it actually closed. They didn't need it anymore, and it began to just fill with water and began to just be reclaimed by nature. But it's usually busy with rock climbers up there and the rock face up there, and scuba divers. A lot of scuba divers go down here. It's about 32 meters safe to dive below the surface, and there's a few tunnels as well under the rock. I'm not sure, I think possibly under here, I'm not sure, but a lot of scuba divers, a few scuba divers have lost their lives in here. You can imagine. That's a long way down. Right, so I've come up top now and I'm stood as closest to the edge as I can handle. The cave we've just been in is down there, and you can see this huge hole in the ground, this massive man-made canyon behind me. A dramatic example of the human impact on the natural landscape. So back this way, you have the spoil heap. So everything that was dug out of the canyon over there has been dumped over here and spread across this wide area, and much of it is still as it was. So yeah, huge, vast expanse of spoil. Yeah, so thanks for joining me on this little Lakeland escapade. Two spectacular caves, or quarries really, but man-made caves, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, definitely worth a visit. So yeah, thanks so much to my mate Cassie for recommending this. If you do want to book onto a walk, plug for Cassie, I'll put the link here. And yeah, so do that. It's definitely worth it. If you're ever in the Lake District, you want a day out that doesn't involve climbing hills, you want a bit of history, a bit of local knowledge, get onto my mate Cassie. But anyway, thanks so much from the spectacular, dramatic landscape of Central Lakeland. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.